Okay guys, welcome to day 2 of this multi-part series of assembling a L-shape or doing a DIY L-shaped desk. As you can see from what I'm showing right here, I finally got my boards painted. I did about 2 coats on it. It's not necessary to do 2 coats since this paint is pretty well made for just 1 coat. But since I'll be using the long coat, which it's kind of white, so it's going to be blending in with the wall. This will be my main work desk. I want to make sure that that one actually had a really good coat on it. And then with the shorter one, this is going to be the, I guess you say the top part, the L part, that I'm going to be using for my product picture. So I want to make sure that I kept a really good coat of paint on it. Now I want to also show you what's going to be used to support these boards. So I'm going to come up a little closer here and see if I can do this without shaking. So what we're going to have here is you will need a stud finder, and this is electronic stud finder, which it will beep when I put that on the wall to find my actual studs. You will need a pencil, your measuring tape, because I want to make sure that my height of my desk, and I'm going to back up here a little bit, the height of my desk will be 28 inches, give or take. I might go a little bit up, 28, maybe 28 and a quarter, but I want it to be as high up as 28, which is kind of like what the actual desk legs is if you were to use desk legs. But since I'm just using the brackets, I'm going to make sure I measure 28. You will also need, some brackets. Now, like I said, I am actually using these shelf brackets right here. I got about 5 of these. I'm going to put 3 on the main one, which is my main work desk, the longer one, and then 2 on the other one, just for some support. As for the screws are dependent on what you actually have in the width of your board. Since I am actually using a 3/4 inch thick MDF board, these actual screws, and I'll get a little closer here, are actually, can you see that without it being blurry? Probably not, but these screws right here are actually about, this one actually I think is 1 inch. So if I was to put it on the board like this, with the head, let me come closer here, you can see that the head will go there and then it comes out just a little bit. So 3/4 to 1 inch is what you need based on the thickness of your board. I'm gonna try these 1 inches to see, because I wanna make sure that when I'm putting them inside of here, they got holes up top as well on the bottom, these are gonna be the ones going up into my board. So it fits just like that and it goes flush against it. I didn't want it to go through the hole. If you can see that, it don't go through. So I wanted to make sure 3/4 to 1 inch and that the head of it will be flush against this part. As for the part that's going to be going into the wall right here, I'm going to try a 1.5 inch screw, which is what this looks like right here. 1.5 inch screw. So I'm going to try that one. And this one will actually go through here. Well, sorry, it goes opposite way. It goes through here. If you can see that, go through here and into my stud. Now, I do have other inches here. I have, this is the ones I'm using. No, I'll take it back. I'm actually using the 2-inch screws. So I apologize for that. I'm using 2-inch screws here. But I also got some 1.5 inch screws. Maybe I think I got it backwards. Scratch that, reverse. I'm actually using 1.5 inch screws, which is what these are right here. I actually have the 2-inch screws because I don't know if that's going to be too short. So I wanted to make sure I had some options here, as well as 2.5. So I got 1 to 1.5 inch, 2-inch screws, and 2 to 1.5 inch. But no more than 2.5 inch screws is what you need, because most of the studs are pretty thick sheets of wood. So about 2 to 2.5 inches should be fine, but I went a little bit down just to make sure it went through. Oh, also you would need these type of plates. They're called mitten plates. And what these do is, since I am making an L shape, and I just lost my phone, sorry about that. DIY at your best, right? Since I am using an L shape, I want to make sure that these, I keep this as close to each other without having a gap like this. So this is gonna go right behind it. I'm gonna put one on each edge. So if you remember the L shape I showed, I have an L right here. I'm gonna put a bracket on one end and that's one in the back. So that's why I have two here. So it's gonna be like this on the board. So this is gonna be the end. That's gonna be this is gonna be the back side. Not sure you can see that on the floor, but yeah, I'm just gonna make sure you connect the two, as well as super glue or wood fill. If you have wood fill, you can do that, but I don't have this, so I'm gonna use some Gorilla Glue, and I'm gonna glue here as well when I put these on, so that way I have a nice flush part of this to my board. So the first thing we gotta do, now that we got the material we need, is we're actually going to mark our spots. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark my spots here, and then we'll come back and show you what I do next. Okay guys, so I went ahead and marked where I'm gonna actually put my brackets at. There's one on that corner, as well as this one right here. And I put one over there near the edge. However, when I got the board up there, I noticed that my board was a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna have to move it a little bit between here. And you can see there's all kinds of marks on the wall. Yeah, it's not very easy trying to find a stud in these walls like this, but I wanted to make sure I do drill within the stud. So I know I put that corner there, so that one should be fine. There's a mark there if I needed to, but it was too close to the outlet, which is covered by the board, so you can't see it. So I didn't want to put nothing too close to an outlet, because I'm not sure where the wire would be at over there. That's my middle one. So I'm going to put pretty much the third bracket right here. So I just basically need about 3 brackets on this board, because it's my biggest board I have. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those holes, and I'm going to go ahead and try and see if the brackets are here. One thing I did not mention when I was actually doing this, I did use a stud finder, but once I put the brackets up, I actually used one of these levelers, so that way I can see if the actual bracket was going to be level, because I want to make sure it's as straight as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and try to drill these holes. I'm going to do one bracket at a time, and then I'm going to come back and show you the 3 brackets on this side once I put the actual brackets on the wall. So stay tuned. This project is coming along. All right, guys, there you have it. The finale of my very own L-shaped desk DIY made by Steffi Jules herself. As you can see right here, and on the pictures on the screen, I have them floating with the actual brackets that you see. There's also the actual brackets that kind of combine the 2 joints to kind of give it flush against each other. And you can see by looking on top of the actual desk, it is very flush. Don't have no gaps, which is perfect. But I'm not gonna lie to you, this project was not an easy project either. As I'm showing pictures on the screen right now, as I could not get my screwdriver as well as my drill in between the top on the corner, because of that stupid middle bar in the middle of it. And no, I did not have an extender. So before everybody start commenting on the screen or comment down below saying, oh, you could have used this. Yeah, by the time I got to the third one, I realized I needed to get one. So I went ahead and bought me one. But it still was not easy to do one at a time, because I'm a right-hand person, and trying to hold the drill with the left hand, and then on the right hand did not work. So that's why you see this black tape right here. This is Gorilla tape. So Gorilla tape is pretty strong, and actually I'm going back underneath here. This right here is pretty strong, and actually I'll get a little closer so you can see this. Let me take it off the actual mount here. As you can see right here, let me bring it here, focus. This thing is pretty sturdy. It is not coming out, because these bars right here are about 500 pounds. I think that's how much it weighs. And the Gorilla tape, I think, is about 15 pounds, 20 pounds. So together, it ain't finna move. But I just basically cover the top portion, and I just did some more support here, just so that way it kind of stay flush against the wall. Like these other ones, I scraped that off the paint, but it's under my desk, so only I would know that. And like you see, it was not easy trying to find the actual studs to this wall. So that's why you might see a lot of holes here, which I can patch that up with just some plaster and then paint it later. But like I said, this is underneath my desk. So as you can see here, it is, you cannot tell. from the naked eye, it looks perfect. And I also right here, I actually got this file cabinet that fits perfectly on the side. So I'm gonna move this over real quick so you can kind of see. It fits perfect on the side of my desk right there. So now I have my actual desk for the office. It's gonna be my office side where I have my laptop and my second screen, which I just purchased today, is right there. It is a BenQ, it's a BenQ 24-inch monitor that I got today from Best Buy. So I'm looking forward to open that up and stick it up here, because right now, originally, since I am working from home, I was using a TV monitor, which is 32 inches, but it was just too big. But yeah, like I said, give you a little close look at that. See? No gap. It is flush against each other. If I was to rub my hand against this, there is no bumps, there's no rises, no edge. It is flushed against it. Now, I could actually paint that, take the cracks out to make it clear white, but from the back here, when you just kind of do a glance at it, doesn't look too bad. So there you have it, folks. My DIY L-shaped desk made by Steffy Jules, aka Stephanie. As you can see, these walls are bare. So my next project that I will be sharing with you guys is how to put shelves up on here, because now I need to put something up here. So that is the next project I'm working on right now. I didn't want to put shelves up first until I got my monitor, because I want to see the height of my monitor so I know exactly how high my shelf's going to be up. But I'm not going to have shelves basically on that wall right there, and maybe some above here, but not too far, because this side of my desk is going to be where I do all my photograph pictures at. So when I take my product pictures, it's going to be using this side of the desk, even using that corner, or it's going to use the flat, depending on whatever I'm going to be doing. So if you like what I showed you so far, make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, you hit that bell, so that way you can see my next DIY projects that I come up with here in my workshop. Because as I like to say, you never know what treasure you find here at Steffy Jules. So hope to see you soon. Bye. So as promised, here is the complete look once I put everything on top of the desk and then have my shelves up. As I mentioned in the video, I wanted to make sure I had my monitor up first, so I knew exactly how high to put my shelves up. So these shelves, the bottom one is actually arm length based on me sitting down. And of course, if I stand up, I can reach the top shelf, but the top shelf is more of my personal items. I'm a big Maverick fan, so I kind of like to look up there and see what's my Maverick items. But this is the overall look once I got the L-shaped desk on. Like I said, I've been using this desk so far now for about a couple of weeks, and even though I had that tape on the bottom of it, it has not moved, it has not shuffled, it is very sturdy. So you know, so far it has not fallen apart on me, which is a good thing. Sometimes when you build your own desk, you kind of get a little wary if it's gonna fall off, but it is still hanging in here strong. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon.